Good day, I'm Brad Gage, and welcome to Mental Health MythBusters, where we trade falsehoods for fact in matters of the mind. And I mean, what matters more than your mind, really? It holds all your favorite thoughts and memories. It helps you figure out which Instagram famous dog has a birthday next week, and how many jalapeno poppers are safe to eat in one sitting. It's important. What's also important is knowing what's going on with your mind when it's having trouble. A big part of helping our mind is understanding what's going on with it. And that's what we aim to do here today. On today's episode, we're going to be looking at myths around borderline personality disorder, or BPD. So, what is borderline personality disorder? BPD is a pervasive pattern of instability in interpersonal relationships, self-image, and emotion. A lot of confusion around BPD comes from the fact that it's a disorder that can show up through multiple symptoms. In order to determine whether someone has BPD, a person must present with 5 or more of the following traits: desperate efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment, a pattern of unstable relationships switching between extremes of admiration and hatred, unstable self-image, impulsive behavior in at least 2 areas that are potentially self-damaging, like spending a lot of money, sex, substance abuse, reckless driving, binge eating, stuff like that. Repeated suicidal behavior and threats of self-harm, erratic mood swings, chronic feelings of emptiness, intense anger or difficulty controlling anger, and temporary stress-related paranoid ideation or dissociative symptoms. So, yeah, I get why BPD can be confusing. It can pop up in a lot of different ways, but that doesn't mean you can't do something to help it. Myth number 1. Borderline personality disorder can't be treated. Fact: a range of treatment options have been proven helpful for people with BPD. Dialectical behavioral therapy, or DBT, which uses a skills-based approach in both individual and group settings, is one of the most common approaches. Some people can also benefit from medications. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, which is the U.S. government's primary agent for research on mental disorders, with newer evidence-based treatment, many people with BPD experience fewer or less severe symptoms and an improved quality of life. To put it plainly, seeing a therapist or psychiatrist helps with BPD. And as a guy who took 30 years to finally see a therapist, I can honestly say I shouldn't have waited 30 years to see a therapist. It's great. I've got a much better hold on my emotions, my fears, my shame, and ways to regulate it all in a healthier way. Myth number 2. Borderline personality disorder and bipolar are the same thing. Fact: borderline personality disorder is a unique disorder that is often misdiagnosed and underdiagnosed because the symptoms are often paired with other symptoms like depression, anxiety, eating disorders, post-traumatic stress disorder, substance abuse disorders, or bipolar. Bipolar disorder differs from BPD in that people with bipolar disorder experience intense emotional states that typically occur during distinct periods of days to weeks, called mood episodes. It mostly manifests in extreme mood fluctuations, disrupting relationships, and many times causing difficulty at work or at school. So the big difference is that bipolar has these clearly defined episodes, whether they're intensely high or intensely low, and borderline personality disorder is a daily, ongoing thing. Keeping track of the differences between mental disorders can definitely seem confusing, but as you know, the mind is complicated. It's important to have clarity about diagnoses so you or a loved one can get help that caters to the specific issues. Myth number 3. Adolescents can't have BPD. Fact: a 2002 to 2005 study of 6,011-year-olds found that 3.2% met the criteria for BPD. A 2013 study of hospitalized adolescents confirmed the reliability of BPD diagnoses in adolescents as young as 12. And a study of over 200 suicidal youth found that BPD could reliably be diagnosed in 14-year-olds. Whether you're young or just young at heart, mental illness affects all of us, which is exactly why getting help with these issues is as normal as loving cute dogs or craving another order of jalapeno poppers. Okay, that's just me. I had to skip lunch to shoot this, so. What I'm saying is the biggest myth of all is that you are alone in facing your mental health challenges. frankly, there are people who want to help you. Yes, you specifically. We've got resources for you to check out in the description of this video. And if you have a moment in your life when you knew it was time to reach out for help in your mental health journey, share it with us in the comment section. Who knows? It might help inspire someone else to get what they need to get their mind matters where they want them to be. Until next time, I'm Brad Gage for Mental Health MythBusters, debunking the junk you've heard about mental illness.